talking over there.
Oh, what?
We're on, we're live.
We're live.
We're live. Good morning and welcome to Berlin once again. This is actually our last morning. We just left because we are, where are we? I'm lost now. We're over there somewhere, aren't we?
We're over there where we've been staying.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can see, there are, they've all buggered off, haven't they? All the swans. There are loads and loads of swans here. You can see them under the bridge up there. And there's about 30 of them that just hang around this joint, don't they?
They do.
Waiting for people, obviously the kids, to feed them off the bridge over there. But it's a lovely little area. I mean, you think it reminds you a little bit of Amsterdam, this particular bit,
yes, it has that
don't
feel
you?
about it. People cycling everywhere along the cobbled streets.
The amount of people cycling, it's unbelievable. Just a tiny little girl cycling with her father, actually, over the bridge here. But a couple of things we just wanted to sort of talk about with things that we've come away with from being here. Do you want to start? Put you on the spot?
Yes, put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Who was our new best friend?
Mr. Ampleman. There's this little green man, no traffic lights, and you get the symbol of the person walking or telling you to stop. The first day we were here, we noticed the green man, and he was a very humanoid type of figure, and he looked very friendly, and he was a slightly chubby man wearing a hat and striding off purposefully. And we thought, oh, that's cool, we really like him. So, as you do, you look on a popular search engine, and would you know it, he's a cult figure, this man. He was based, done by the East Germans, presumably when everything was split up. They needed their own traffic lights and they thought they'd be different. So they got someone to design this particular figure. And they based part of him on Erich Honecker, who was the East German president. The hat is from a picture of Erich Honecker wearing a straw hat or something like that. And he became a bit of a cult figure. The idea, because he's striding, it makes you walk faster. But he's amazing.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere.
I mean, I've got a badge. We actually found 2 stores devoted purely to merchandise to do with Ampleman, because he became a figure for road safety campaigns for children and that. So people used to dress up as him. So he's huge. So that's one thing I'll take away, because he's just quite a nice little friendly thing that you see around. And when they are traffic signals that haven't got him, you feel a little bit disappointed.
You do. Don't you? And he's got us across some tricky roads, hasn't he?
Yeah, and also people don't jaywalk here.
No,
they wait for Mr.
don't.
Ampleman or whoever happens to be around at the time to go across the road. So anything else you wanted to say? There must be.
I think I also took away how friendly the Berliners are. I'm not sure that's what I was expecting. That's a bit of a generalisation.
I know what you mean.
But
it's true, though.
City dwellers sometimes can be a bit aloof.
Yes.
I suppose to a large extent we've been lucky that we've happened upon a neighbourhood where we've been living, which is, they're very young, aren't they? Very multicultural.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well,
So
I mean, I suppose
really
that's the same with any
welcoming.
capital city, but this area, certainly with all the food and that we've seen around here, weren't necessarily expecting that. Trying to find a German, excuse me, German food isn't very easy, apart from the currywurst stalls, which you're going to try and find one later, just for a last little try. But also with the amount of people speaking English.
Yes.
I mean, okay, I know English is like the world's second language for most people, and for some Brits. But everybody speaks it. Everywhere you go, people keep thinking we were German, because I suppose we've got that slightly Northern European look. But even Germans talk to each other in English, because it's the neutral language if there's a group of them or something like. We went to a gig actually it's just around the corner from here, a lovely little bar that we found, Das Hotel, and a little session going on there. The person who introduced the act spoke in English to everybody. It's a German bar, it's full of German people. She was German. The performer herself was actually Spanish, it turned out, but she did all of her announcements, all of her songs were in English. So that was really quite something. But the other thing I should mention actually is the bars. You're allowed to smoke in the bars, which I found absolutely amazing, and it actually put us off a couple of places, didn't it?
We got used to that not happening in the UK, it stopped us going a few places.
So anything else? Anything else when we wind up? Well, it's nice to spot this.
I guess I'd like to wind up with my final impressions of the city, really. If you're thinking about coming here, if you've ever had any reticence about coming here, don't, just come. It's extraordinary. It's challenging, of course it is. There's a whole history there that Berliners particularly have had to look in the eye, because it's sitting there.
Yeah.
But they've done that in a really respectful way. It's there, but it's not there. They celebrate when they should, and they're a city who's redefining itself and moving on. And we found art and music and culture, and incredibly welcoming people.
But you don't think of the Germans necessarily, once again a generalisation, as being cultured people, do you? I don't know why that is, but it's not
know.
like that at all. I mean,
No.
whether it's the influence of things that have happened since 1945 or 1989, I don't know, because everyone's got together and it's a very inclusive city. As I say, it's a very friendly place as well.
Moving forward.
And to be honest, I know when Julie first suggested it, it was not somewhere that I'd thought about coming to. Germany, full stop, but Berlin certainly. But as Julie said, I'd recommend it to anybody. I've loved it here. It's a really interesting city.
Yeah.
A very, you know, it certainly gets you in the gut sometimes with some of the things that we've seen and experienced and read about and that. But that's part of it, isn't it? I should go away now and read up a bit more about some of the stuff that we've already been looking at, and look at my bit of the wall.
If anyone wants to see a bit of the wall, I'm sure we can arrange a
And we even Googled that yesterday to see if it might be genuine. It turns out that the piece of the wall is quite possibly genuine, but the paint on it maybe have done afterwards. Because actually, as we saw yesterday, a lot of the street art, graffiti, whatever, that was put onto the wall was actually done afterwards, not when it was really standing as such. So anyway,
indeed.
so we'll leave it from there, and auf Wiedersehen from Berlin.
Auf Wiedersehen.